Murder Mystery, published Wednesday, September 28th, 1910, Toowoomba, Queensland, through the Darling Downs Gazette. Murder Mystery, Crippen Case in America, Corpse Buried in a Basement, Mystery of a Girl's Disappearance, Medical Man Arrested, Police Searching for His Assistant, An Extraordinary Crime. San Francisco, Saturday. A ghastly tragedy has just come to light at Paso Robles, a popular resort in San Luis Obispo County, California, on the Southern Pacific Railway. The crime bears an extraordinary resemblance in its main features to the mystery of the disappearance of Mrs. Crippen, and the discovery of what are believed to be her mutilated remains in the basement of a house in Camden Road, London. 5 months ago, Miss Eva Swan, a young lady employed as a stenographer at the surgery of Dr. Grant, a local medico, disappeared suddenly, and in a most mysterious manner. Paso Robles is not a large place, and within a few hours of the girl's disappearance, active search was being made for her in all directions. Not only the city itself, but the whole countryside as well was scoured in the most thorough manner, but all search proved resultless. Not a trace of her could be found. Diligent inquiries by the police revealed whatever had become of the young lady, she had not left by railway or any of the ordinary means of transport. Indeed, from the moment that Miss Swan left the boarding house, where she had lived, on the morning of her disappearance, no one, as far as could be ascertained, had seen her. Nothing discomfited by failure, the police maintained the search for the girl. Her friends also spared no effort to discover what had become of her. Up till 2 days ago, all efforts to solve the mystery had proved absolutely resultless. On Thursday, however, the police got information that put them on the right track. It came from a young man named Gordon, who acts as assistant to Dr. Grant, and it led the police to an unoccupied house in Eureka Street. Last night, after a 2-day search over the premises, the police unearthed in the basement of the house a badly decomposed corpse. It was that of a young girl, and though the features were no longer recognizable, the authorities are confident that the body is that of Miss Swan. Prompt arrests. The next steps on the part of the police were taken with promptitude. Dr. Grant, Miss Swan's employer, was immediately arrested. A woman named Mary Messersmith was also apprehended on suspicion of being concerned in the murder. The police are now searching actively for a young man named Sachs, who was employed by the prisoner Grant at the time of Miss Swan's disappearance. They believe that Sachs had an active part in the mystery. The house in Eureka Street. Diligent inquiries are being prosecuted into the recent history of the unoccupied house in Eureka Street. The place has been empty for a month or so. During the past 5 months, it has been occupied for 2 brief periods only. The last tenants were 2 men of whom little or nothing is known. They only stayed in the place, however, for a few days, and Miss Swan having been missing for a long time before they went into the house, the police do not connect them with the crime. A mysterious trunk. The discovery of the corpse has invested with new and intense interest a discovery made in the house in Eureka Street about 2 months ago. About that time, a family named Crotton moved into the place. In addition to the usual rubbish incidental to unoccupied houses, they found a large trunk. There were dark stains on it that looked like blood, and the trunk itself emitted a most obnoxious smell, as though it had been the receptacle for decomposing animal matter. There was something so strongly suggestive of crime about the trunk that the Crottons lost no time in communicating with the police. An examination of the trunk showed it to contain female clothing and wisps of what seemed to be human hair. The police, however, do not seem to have connected the box and its strange contents in any way with Miss Swan's disappearance. They sent the trunk to the local health authorities, who commissioned the city analyst to make a biological examination of the stains with which it was disfigured. The analyst, however, reported that the stains were only paint. That divested the whole business of serious significance, and the incident of the trunk was soon forgotten. The Crottons left the house not long afterwards. Last night's tragic discovery, however, indicates that the trunk played an important part in a ghastly crime. In all probability, the corpse was concealed in this trunk before it was buried, though for how long a period is of course only matter for conjecture at present. The missing girl. Miss Swan does not appear to have any relatives in Paso Robles. Up till April 30th, she boarded with a Mrs. Harry Weir. It was on that day that she disappeared. Previous to taking service with Dr. Grant as stenographer, Miss Swan was a school teacher. Detectives hard at work. Victim's hair stained with acid. San Francisco, Sunday. The detectives are hard at work unraveling the mystery of Miss Eva Swan's disappearance. They have succeeded in establishing the fact that the hair of the girl whose body was dug up on Friday night in the basement of the house in Eureka Street, Paso Robles, was dyed after the victim had been done to death. The dye used appears to have been a powerful acid, but the process of disguise was not complete, the original color of the hair being discernible in places. The detectives are now confronted with the puzzling fact that the wisps of hair found in the trunk do not correspond with the color of Miss Swan's hair. The clothing found in the trunk is not, according to Mrs. Weir, identical with any of that belonging to the missing girl. Mrs. Weir declares that the detectives are mistaken in believing that the body found buried in the basement is that of Miss Swan's, basing her belief principally upon the negative evidence of clothing. She admits, however, that the real color of the hair on the corpse is similar to that of the missing stenographer. The police are confident that the corpse is that of Miss Swan, and that its discovery solves, in one respect, the mystery that has been baffling them for 5 months.